Judy with 15 Minutes of Fear, and I'm catching up with a very busy, hugely talented Lydia Manson. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that
I'm
was a beautiful intro.
no,
Thank you.
I have more, so hang on because
Oh my goodness.
hang on,
Stop,
there's
stop,
more.
stop. No,
Um,
go on.
so I will go on. So Lydia and I had the good fortune of meeting at one of I think it was the New Jersey Comic Con is where we first met. And
Yeah.
then you were hustling and doing a bunch of stuff. But Lydia, you wear a lot of hats, right? So Lydia is an actress, a producer, has worked as a second unit director and an assistant director. And you just told me you participated in stunt school. So I want to hear about
Yes.
that. Lydia, you've been very busy producing and acting in several upcoming projects, including Hellsgate, which we're going to talk about today, as well as The Lady of the Castle de la Morte. I hope I said that right.
De l'Amour.
De la Morte. Okay, my French is not good. The Voodoo Forest, Nazi Werewolves from the Moon. And you're also currently co-producing, which sounds amazing to me, Scary Story Slumber Party Volume 2, right?
Mhm.
So you also, audience, you've also may have seen Lydia in videos, including Alternative Realities and R.I.P. Van Winkle Part 3, short works such as The Dark Office and Kiss Me Judas Chapter 1, as well as found footage, the series, Reunion from Hell 2, The House That Eats Flesh, Passages of Nexus, The Vord, and Camera X. So, welcome again, Lydia. I'm delighted to speak with you, and I'm really delighted to hear about Hell's Gate. So, tell me about this project. Last time we spoke, you were super passionate about it and you were getting all of this stuff in line. So, do you want to just let
Mhm.
the audience know about your journey? And I should tell you, the slasher community is very excited to hear about it.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
mhm,
Yay.
I don't know if you know the slasher crew, but I have a lot
I
of great friends,
don't.
and we're really, really excited to share this interview and all the good stuff with slasher.
Well, welcome to the cult.
Yes.
So we use the hashtag join the cult to help spread our word in movie. Yes, yes, you know.
Yep.
It was so
Representing.
great meeting you at New Jersey Horror Con. I believe it was the Edison one.
It was.
Um I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go on there and I'm not gonna have my pink hair and she's not gonna
I
realize it's
know.
me."
I'm gonna say, who's this?
People will talk to me all day at a con with like when I'm representing Hell's Gate, I wear the pink hair because that's my character. Kelly in the film has pink hair, so I try to just be in character as
Yeah.
her whenever I'm promoting. So I'll talk to people all day wearing the wig, and then the next day I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, hi, I'm so and so." I'm like, "I know, we like talked all day yesterday,"
We
and they're
shared a
like,
moment.
"What?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm Lydia," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you." I'm like, "It's just hair, like."
It's
But
just hair.
it gets
It is.
everybody every time.
But that's part of the
But
fun, right? That's part of the fun of the entertainment business where you get to, well, you in particular, you get to step into many different types of shoes. Because I know that you're acting in this production, but you're also producing, and it seems like you're doing a lot of PR for it. So how
I
did that all
actually
come
wrote
about?
it too.
Right, that's right. I was just going to mention that. And I know you wrote it as well because you were telling me how you put a lot of thought and effort into connecting the characters and a lot of little Easter eggs, right?
Yes, so I know, like, even looking at our poster, you see, and this is Otis B. Dreads. He's playing our leader Keith, who he runs Sprouts Wellness Center, which is basically a way for him to run his cult, which is Hell's Gate. But he runs the wellness center Sprouts as a place for you to grow, where he also grows some stuff of his own, and he starts making an herbal tea for his recruits. But then he also uses stronger psychedelics to kind of help them unleash their inner hell. So it allows them to work through that and pass through their own gate. So that's where we kind of get Hell's Gate from. So looking at him, I know everybody immediately is going to think Manson, and whenever you say cult, one of the first things that comes to your mind is Charles Manson, and of course, part of our story does touch on Charles, and we also have the rights to two of his songs to use in the film.
Oh,
So
wow.
excited about that. But I wanted it to be, as I spoke to you at the convention, I actually studied several cults and pulled from several different leaders to make Keith. So even though, yes, Manson, we're touch upon Manson, we touched upon so much, like um, Heaven's Gate, and so many other cults, and I would say about half of Keith's dialogue in the film is actually full quotes from cult leaders
Wow.
throughout the years. And I thought that, to me, it's kind of like a psychological study,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's like, these words have already brought how many people basically under the spell of someone. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how, you know, people will respond to
Yeah.
Hellsgate.
Yeah, I mean that's a very emotional way to write, right? When you look back, because some cults, look, I'm a joiner. I like groups. I like joining things,
Yeah,
you know, but
we all
some
want to
can
feel like we belong.
exactly, exactly. And you really want to, it's funny. I had a conversation about loneliness with a friend of mine because she had a little bit of a difficult situation. I said, being lonely is a horrible thing. And people don't want to be lonely. They want to be part of a group. And, some cults can be really damaging and really bad. And you can get really
Mhm.
horrible situations where other kind of groups, can be more positive. So in your story, I was going to ask you, was it emotionally draining to put this script together? Because this is heavy stuff. This is not just sort of, oh, here's the light story, but goodbye, get good guy, bad guy. Like, how was that emotionally for you as a writer to put this together?
It was very emotionally heavy,
Yeah.
because we all love the slashers we grew up watching,
Hmm.
but we know that Mike and, Freddy aren't going to actually come after us.
Right.
But I don't know about the person sitting next to me in a full theater watching a movie, what's going through their mind and what they're going through in their life.
Right.
And to me, that's scarier than these slashers. So I wanted to use that base frame and show that reality is more terrifying than what we can come up with in our own minds. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the I wanted the kills to be meaningful, to resonate with people watching it, like, you know what? I I could see myself doing that.
Yeah.
Cuz that
Yeah.
again is also terrifying.
Sure.
Like, I not to like give away a lot about the film, but a couple of topics we touch on are, like opioid overdoses.
Uh-huh.
You
Sure.
know, So I'm like, how many people that could be watching Hell's Gate know someone, or are maybe themselves dealing with addiction? And
Hmm.
I made sure that we touched upon that, and, trigger warning. We touched on sexual abuse, especially actually in this case, incest.
Yeah.
So, you know, me myself actually going through that at a young age, like writing that is very heavy,
Yeah.
but I wanted it to be one of those movies that you're just like, wow, you know? I want it to be like, I want everybody to feel like they could see that happening, because these are all real life situations. I'm sure everyone will know someone who knows someone
Yeah.
that something like this has happened to. And I think that's scary on its own.
Yeah, of course. And I think part of the reasons why I like these types of movies, and I like the whole genre. I like them all. But I think that part of the reason I enjoy watching movies that touch a little bit closer to reality is because it makes me feel better in a weird way to see it. It kind of like is cathartic for me to see this happen and say, okay, all right, that happened. This is real. This is a real emotion, and I'm on Long Island and we do have an opioid crisis. We just do.
Mhm.
And I think it's important. I think it's important to keep that in the verbiage and to say, hey, look, this can do some real damage here. And there's some people struggling. And then to approach it and couch it in a story with, I mean, I'm going to assume there's good guys and bad guys in this story, right? I would hope
Hmm.
there's some people in there who are doing the right thing, and I'm not sure how that's going to go, because when you deal with these big heavy topics, sometimes it gets murky and gray,
Yes.
you know.
And you know, that's where unleashing your inner hell like really comes out, because it's like, you know, oh my god, how many times have you wanted to just like wring somebody's neck because
Yeah,
they're, you know, but you know, being on these, you know, just psychedelics for um easier purposes than I don't know what they would actually be called. Um, but for them to allow you to actually do what you've always wanted, it shows that, you know, yes, there's always a leader of these cults, but
yeah,
really the people in charge are the members. The leader is nothing without the members,
right.
and the members are going to do what they want to do regardless at the end of the day. So I think I wanted to show that part of cults, that everybody is individually responsible for what they do um, at the end of the day. So
And
I wanted to show too that, you know, like we are capable of doing truly heinous things
yeah.
as people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that feeds into the whole Manson story, right? Where he's,
Hmm.
the whole, hey, I didn't kill anyone, and you just see. So you're exactly right when you focus in that the element of the whole concept is the individual acting, whether they're persuaded or not. That's an argument that's bigger than my mind will bring you,
Hmm.
but it is definitely interesting to focus on. These are individuals acting, even if there might be a hive mentality, they're acting as individuals too. And it's interesting too, because I just did a podcast with my brother on Suspiria, and we compared Suspiria to the remake. And I opened it by saying Suspiria, the original, was based on a story and writing by, I'm not going to remember the person's name right now. I think it was Thomas De Quincey, who wrote about hallucinogenics and essays in the 1800s. So, this idea of hallucinogenics driving people or driving
Hmm.
creativity or driving action is not all that new. It's been in the community, right? So, for you to focus on that in 2025, I find very interesting. And how was that experience to sort of whittle it down and talk about that?
Well, one of the films that I would say I drew a lot of inspiration from, not only as far as like storytelling, but also marketing wise, was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. So I, you know, was like stuck in the early 60s, and I was like, how do I bring, because Alfred Hitchcock was like the master of
Yeah,
suspense, and I'm like, how do I bring what he did back then to present day?
right.
Is it still going to work? Is it still going to make, you know, are people still going to see it? Are they going to see it coming? Are they not going to be, are they going to be super surprised? You know, so to hear about this going back to like the 1800s, you know, I'm like, yes, I'm only talking about a span of, you know, 60 years, but to show that I'm trying to go across decades and
Decades.
centuries is just, I hope we could do it.
Well, I'm sure you can do it. And I think that what you're doing is you're basing your thought process in very, very tried and true concepts. Like, we're human beings. It's exactly as you said, we're human beings, and we have the capacity to do great things and horrible things. And I think that's what makes the cult concept so interesting. And that's why I was interested to talk to you when I met you, because it's just such an interesting, I guess, human experience to
Hmm.
even be in a cult. It's kind of like a joke, like, oh, don't join a cult. Well, people do, and people still do, and people are still
Yes.
involved in it. And I think the longevity of touching on the, playing with the mind, and whether it's drug driven or meditation driven or whatever it is, but this idea of you're taking your normal state and you're changing it, and now you're
Hmm.
here. And I think that's a really interesting thing. So tell me about the other members you worked with on this film, because I know you had a co-writer and a co-producer.
Um, so our director is Aaron Hawkins. I was originally brought on as just assistant director, and also playing the role of Kelly in the film. And talking with Aaron, I was like, I feel like we can make this script. I was like, I think we can make it more impactful with what we just talked about. So I said, if you give me the opportunity, and he did. I took his story and I rewrote it. And I thank him for that giving, having the trust in me for that. Um, and then one of our associate producers is Bill Diamond, who's been in the industry for over 40 years. His last film being Terrifier 3.
Oh,
He was producer on that. They filmed at his studio. We actually, the proof of concept that we filmed at Bill's studio, so we were able to look up. He still had blood splatter from where
oh
they
no.
filmed Terrifier 3. So Bill is a part of our team. He's
That's
won
cool.
3 Emmys and 7 Telly Awards. So
Wow.
we're trying to put together a really great team to make this, not only look amazing, but also tell an amazing story.
Yeah, and I think it will. And so how far in the process, I'm not in the film industry, so I should explain.
Yes.
I'm not skilled with this at all. So how far along in the process is it? Because I know the last time we spoke, I had asked you, how can we, so, and I know we bought the t-shirts and I know we're
Hmm.
very excited for that, but how
Every
can,
little bit
every little
helps.
bit helps, but how can we support, the community support you, and what are the next steps in the process? Because I think your notation says you're in pre-production and I didn't know what that means. So if you don't mind
Yep.
explaining to the audience, um,
Of course. Yes.
yeah.
No, because I know because I'm learning as I go along too. So it's really, it's interesting to tell other people. Pre-production is the phase in which you, you know, you, your story is no longer just an idea. It's fully scripted, it's fully formatted. We have our cast, we have our team, we're ready to go. We're breaking down the script. So what breaking down a script means is you're looking at each and every scene individually. You're looking at what props you're going to need for each scene. Looking at your cast as far as scheduling, how many scenes they're going to be in. Are they going to be, do they need to be in scenes with somebody that's only going to be there for one day? Because you have to make sure to get all that person's coverage. So it's a lot of detail oriented work. We'll start doing storyboarding, which is where we will read each scene and actually sketch out how we want it to look.
Oh, wow.
um so like you might see it online sometimes. You'll see like cubes of, like, it kind of looks like a comic book storyboarding. It's just to get your vision of how you want the shot to be, so that when you get on set you're like, okay, I want this shot to be kind of looking upward towards this character, so when you get there, okay, I need to have my camera down here. So it helps move it along a lot faster when you have all those things done. But also the worst part of pre-production is raising funds to make the film.
Yeah.
So uh, we have our Indiegogo campaign, which is in demand. So you can go on and there's lots of great perks you can buy. You could have your face in the film. You could be one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted, which will be
That's great.
featured in the FBI office. And our FBI director is Bill Oberst Jr. For anyone who is a fan of his work, he's done so many great things. So there's that perk. There's also, you can come be on set for 4 days and learn all about movie making. Oh, Laura Meadows is actually, she's going to be in the film. I'm
Great.
so glad she can make it.
Welcome, Laura. Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Laura. We're just learning how films worked. And just to catch you up, I was just going to ask Lydia, would you please tell us where we can fund the film? So you were saying, what is that, Indiegogo? What is that?
Indiegogo.
And how can
Yep.
we connect?
So if
And
you
I'll
just
put
go to
all of that
Indiegogo.
in the notes,
Yeah,
but
I can send you our link, but
right,
for anyone that's just curious, you could just go to indiegogo.com and just Hellsgate in the search bar, and our campaign will pop up, and you could
that's
pre-order your
wonderful.
DVD. You could
Great.
order props that we're going to be using in the film, and they'll be signed by people. You can order, if you're a fan of Robert Lasardo, who's going to be in the film, as well as Bill Over Jr., which I was just talking about. You could order their signed 8x10s.
Wow.
So lots of great stuff is still up there.
Yeah, lots of great stuff. And I think also, what is now the next step? So at this point, are we just in a funding platform?
Yep. Right
Hmm.
now, it's just we're reaching out to private investors, looking for, you know, trying to push the Indiegogo as far as crowdfunding, get more people interested, and just kind of build our fan base and get more people, get more eyes on Hellsgate,
Hmm.
get more cult members. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Mhm.
as always, hashtag join the cult,
Join the
just
cult.
as many
Yeah.
people as we can get to just see what's going on and see the work
Yeah.
that we're putting into it. And that's going to be a great production. And we just want everybody as involved as we can get.
Absolutely. And can you tell us what you're working on right now? Because I know you have a
Uh,
lot of other stuff in post production.
Yes, I just finished filming in Texas a movie called A Toy Maker. So that's my first lead role that I've had. So that was very exciting.
That is
And
exciting.
as I said earlier, I got to do like the stunt school. So that was I got rigged up and got pulled back
Oh
and
my gosh.
did spins. It was great. I was really great learning
Yeah.
experience. Got to do fight choreography in the film. I gave myself a black eye on day 2 of filming.
No.
Yeah, I
Are
was
you
doing a,
okay?
a fake headbutt and
Okay.
I really headbutted and nobody wins with a headbutt. So
No.
I had a black eye for like a
Okay.
week of filming,
Oh
but
gosh. I'm sorry
it
that
looked
happened.
great because it was real.
Yeah.
Um
I hope they kept that cut.
I know, be like that's
Yeah.
got to be the one you
It has to
use. Like I
be in.
sacrificed.
Well, so how was that doing a leading role? Because that's a lot of work. It's exhausting
It was
and satisfying.
I was very nervous. There was a few scenes I was very nervous about.
Okay.
I'm sure Laura understands. I had like a 3-4 page scene of back and forth dialogue,
Okay.
Mhm.
and it's so hot. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my, I was so nervous for this scene because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, you think, oh, you can have like a back and forth conversation, but to like memorize like what part has to go where so
Pages.
you're not, oh my
Mhm.
God, I like, I struggled that day that I knew we were doing that scene. I stared at that paper and I was like, I'm reading it, but I don't know what it says. But I was able to make it through and I was so happy. I was like, thank God that's over with.
And what was the
So,
experience with your director? Did you enjoy working with your director?
oh yeah, Evan was great. He was, he listened to us if we had any ideas. He was very open to how we wanted to play our characters, so that was great.
That's awesome. And would you come back and talk to us about that when it's out?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, great. Great. Thank you. And what's next now? I know you've been traveling, so it's kind of obnoxious for me to ask you what's next, but what is next? What are you going to be working on soon? Or are you relaxing till the end of the year?
No, I will be filming a movie called Shiver in New Hampshire.
Hmm.
Great.
Um, and then I will be filming a movie called Big Boobenstein, which I'm actually assistant director on. And then I play a part in that as well. And then also a sci-fi movie called 92 Hours.
Oh,
So
wow. Wow.
I
That's
have
great.
all that and then Hell's Gate.
I mean,
Mm.
that's all amazing. And again, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having
No, it's
us.
delightful and definitely keep us all in the loop. And I said, we're all behind you. I have,
Thank
we're just
you.
rooting for you and I'm going to get all your socials. And thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And Laura, so nice to
Yes,
meet you.
hi.
My goodness. So tell me, you were telling me a little bit about your character. So what's your involvement in Hellsgate? It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too. Well, I'm friends with some of the different actors, and I was auditioning with Jeff Saranelli, and he said, "You know what? Maybe you should play my sister," since I was playing the sister role anyway. And we brought it to the director, and he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, she can do the sister." So since
Perfect.
we're do a lot of scenes together anyway, Jeff and I were taking some of the same classes at one point.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's great. I get to go to
Yeah.
Chicago. I'm based in Los Angeles.
Oh, great.
Although I just got back from Europe and was in about 6 countries.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Was
my
that for
Yeah.
gosh.
work or was that for leisure?
That was for leisure, but it
Good
didn't
for
feel very
you.
leisurely.
Good for you. Well, welcome back. Welcome
Thank
back. But
you.
that's
That's why I've got
exciting.
the cold thing going on. I was in the
Yeah.
Scandinavia.
Yeah,
Oh.
traveling, it's so funny because I love to travel, but every now and then you get a little cold or whatever. But so now what else are you working on? Are you going to take a break towards the end of the year? Are you going to work on some other stuff?
Well, I just finished Lady in the Urn, and that
Great.
got an award at the Culver City Film Festival. It got
Congratulations.
thank you. It got best feature film audience favorite for feature film. I probably
Awesome.
didn't say that right.
No, so
And
that's great. I mean, that's amazing. It's got to be
and
satisfying for you too as creative artists to have a really nice response from the audience, I would think.
yeah,
That's
it
got to be very
is.
satisfying.
It is. And then same film company, I'm doing another one for them on Thursday, and I'm playing a spiritual healer shaman.
Oh,
And
wow.
this was sort of um I guess horror, not quite. It's supernatural, I would say.
Wow.
And I've got 5 pages of back and forth dialogue, so I feel you,
The
girl.
struggle is real.
The struggle is real. You guys are so impressive. My goodness.
It's
I
like you
know.
almost wish for like a like like a half-page monologue is almost easier than
Yeah,
back and forth
Yeah.
dialogue.
yeah. So I've been going over it all day and
Mhm.
yesterday, and I will tomorrow. I've got it
Yeah.
recorded. I was playing it in the car.
Yeah.
You just like try to get those words jammed into your head.
It's
And
Mhm.
definitely a flex, right? I think I'll just play a dead body if I was ever gonna be in a movie. I'm good at
I
laying down.
thought I thought that would be like the best job ever on a soap opera, be the person in the coma for like the entire season and get paid rate, just
That's my
get paid
goal.
the same as everybody else, but you
You
just
don't even
run.
have to hold your breath because you're in a coma, so you're breathing.
So
So
you're
In a
you
still
coma.
literally just
breathing.
get to lie there. You
Oh
don't,
my gosh. Yeah,
And then
that's the
that's
everybody
hard part
great.
comes
about
and
being a dead body
Right.
is
talks
Well,
you're like
around
timing out
you.
your breaths. You're
yeah.
like, oh my God, the
Yeah.
camera's on me right now.
Don't move. Don't
No, I
move.
opted for the coma. I thought the
Yeah,
coma would be
that's a good
perfect.
one.
Mhm.
That's a good
That's a
one.
smart move.
It is a smart move. My goodness. So,
So anybody listening, I'm ready to be the girl in the coma, the woman in
yeah,
the
we're
coma.
putting that out there in the universe. We got two volunteers for
Yeah.
bodies or comas. So, Laura, what are your socials so we can get in touch with you and root you
Yes.
on?
Yes. Well, I'm on IMDb under my name, Laura Meadows 1. And I am Laura underscore A underscore Meadows on Instagram. Laura Meadows on Facebook. Pretty much I use my name.
Yeah,
And I'm on TikTok, and that's also under Laura Meadows.
great.
And let's see, I have two Facebooks. One's personal, one's a fan page, and oh yeah, and YouTube.
Super. That's
So
fantastic. That's so great. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been absolutely delightful. And please feel free to be return guests and reach out if you have some interesting stuff
Yes.
going on. We'd love to chat again. Tell me again where we can get some cash to you. Go.
Um, so if you go to Indiegogo and you go to Hellsgate, or if you contact me directly, I have most of the merch at my house. So if you're interested in shirts or hats, we have bumper stickers, journals, I can just send those right to you.
All right. So this is Judy from 50 Minutes of Fear. And, fear not, check out Hellscape.